Hello, neighbors and friends. Welcome. This is MPP Faisal Hassan joining you again another Friday from 7 p.m. to p.m. Good evening. And those who are joining us on Instagram, welcome. Good evening to you as well. My dear Andrea Barrett, our candidate for Brampton South, welcome. And welcome those who are just joined also Instagram, Mona Lisa, and others as well. Welcome, folks. Today we have a fantastic program. But before I do, I'm also trying to also answer your comments. But before I do, let me also acknowledge at this time the land that we now know as York Southwestern is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuits, and Métis people. Welcome, folks. And those who are joining us on Facebook, Faisal Hassan, NDP, welcome. And those also who are joining us also Instagram, Faisal Hassan, NDP, welcome. And also those joining us also YouTube, as well as also Instagram, Twitter rather, Faisal Hassan NDP, as well as also LinkedIn. Welcome, folks. And welcome also Ifat Riaz. And folks, also our friend Andrea Barrett, the Ontario NDP candidate for Brampton South, is saying good evening to you. And she's joining us on Instagram, and she's a great candidate, folks. If you are in Brampton South, help her, reach her out. Just check it out, her social media handle, and she'll be happy to work with you. And well, thank you, folks. To also, I will be also including your comments and also trying to attempt to answer also your questions. Rasha, welcome. Hirschi, welcome. And Loribe, welcome also. Quickly, just a quick announcement. The my youth council, MPP Faisal Hassan's youth council for York Southwestern are now open, and it provides an excellent opportunity for young people to highlight ways they can contribute in our community to make things better and identify ways we can support young people across this province. And if you are a young person between the ages of 16 and 24 and you are interested in making an impact in your community, you can just apply. You can just write Faisal Hassan -co at ndp.on, fhassan-co at ndp.on.ca. And Saeed, also welcome. And welcome, folks, also who are joining us also on Instagram. I'm trying here also to try to include your comments here. And if you have any comments, I'll be able now to look into quickly on the board and also answer them quickly. Let me just try to minimize that. How do I do that? And maybe I could shrink it. No, that's fine. I think I will be able to go back and forth quickly. I think I could do this way. Maybe, yeah, there we are. No, I think I shouldn't be doing that. How did I did that? Quickly, I'm just trying to bring this quickly closer to this way. How do I do that? Well, here we are. Very good. So, folks, there we are, and those who are joining us, and I think here on Riaz is saying, my question regarding international nurses' jobs in Ontario. Hello, Faisal. Well, I think that's a good question. And welcome, Bashe, welcome, Frank, welcome, Mizan, and others. What is your question? I mean, you just said with regard to international nurses jobs in Ontario. I'll be happy if you could elaborate exactly what specific questions do you have for international nurses, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. Folks, welcome, and those applications I mentioned, you can also apply. If you are in doubt, also you can write to us at Faisal Hassan. You can also write F Hassan -co at ndb.oin.ca, or you can phone at 416-243-7984. And there we are. So Ifat Rias, if you would elaborate, I'll appreciate that. Basha, welcome also, and says hello to you as well. And throughout, folks, throughout the pandemic, nurses have had our back, and it is well past the time for our province to support them the way they deserve. As I have said repeatedly, it is not enough to simply refer to them as heroes. We need to treat them as such, champions and heroes. We need to do that. Omicron has put an intense strain on our healthcare system. Exhausted nurses are working double shifts to care for sick patients, and many of them are falling ill themselves due to the highly transmissible variants. I have consistently from nurses who feel emotional drain. They feel ignored and disrespected. They were under no delusion that dealing with pandemic in the adjacent profession would be the challenge of their lifetime. What they didn't expect was the way in which the government has turned their back on them and their priceless contributions to the pandemic response. Quickly here, I see my friend Khalid Ahmed running for Khalid. Which riding are you riding? He's a great candidate. He has done so much work in Scarborough and Don Valley area and continues to do so. He's also running again. And work with him. He's a great candidate and an awesome guy. Thank you for joining me, Instagram, and those who are joining us also YouTube. Welcome. Yes, Bickering, Uxbridge, folks. If you are in Bickering, Uxbridge, work with Khalid Ahmed. He's a great friend, as a matter of fact, and he's doing a fantastic job. Support him if you're in that area, Bickering and Uxbridge area. Folks, and thank you. And quickly here, those who are just writing quickly, I see here comments. I will just also take the comments quickly. Frank says, I heard that Rob Phillips, Minister of Long-Term Care, is stepping down. Is that true? Well, Frank, we just heard from the news. That's correct. He has resigned and he will be stepping down from his position as an MPP for Ajax. Next month. But as you know, also in the news, my leader have introduced our NDP candidate, a long-time Ajax MPP, Steve Parish, just 3 days ago when that was announced. And now here we are. The Minister, Rob Phillips, have declared that he's stepping down. And that is today has been confirmed. So it's true that Rob Phillips have resigned and is not going to be running there. And this also comes, Frank, 3 days ago, my leader, Andrew Horvath, has introduced long-time Ajax Maya to run for the NDP official opposition. Steve Parish, who has served remarkable the people of Ajax and there. And now after 3 days, we hear this news that Rob Phillips is not running. So that is something that has been confirmed. Well, Khalid says, folks, in Instagram, thank you, Faisal. You are awesome. Well, thank Khalid. Has been an awesome guy. He has really, really done a lot of progressive work in Don Valley East, to be exactly. And now he's standing up again to earn your trust and confidence. Folks from Bickering and Uxbridge, please help him and join him and support in any way you can. Also, our friend Andrea Barrett from Brampton South. She was the CEO of Black businesses, and she has done so much in small businesses and also in business in general. Support her as well. In Brampton South, we need an NDP, MPP there, and also Uxbridge, Bickering Uxbridge as well. So we need to get more seats so that we can form government next year. Well, folks who are joining, Badin, welcome, and others says hello, hi. And quickly, those who are also joining YouTube, also welcome and thank you. And here we have quickly the question, I think, about the international nurses. Efrat Ria says, are they still hiring international nurses? Could you tell me the website, please? Well, I don't know if you are in Ontario or if you are outside of Canada. I don't know. But if you are in Ontario, definitely you can write to us, fhassan-co at ndp.on.ca, and I'll be happy to connect you. Thank you. Welcome, folks, as well. Bob Murphy also says, good evening. What would be your take on the VRU Vulnerable Road Use Act Bill 54? I cannot read. Yeah, I think I can see it here. It says, good evening. What would you be your take on the VRU Vulnerable Road User Act Bill 54, and will you be supporting, as many of the NDP MPPs are? Brian Walker, welcome also. Well, I mean, Bob, I cannot think about just Bill 54. Could you elaborate a little bit? Exactly, it hasn't perhaps come to the legislature yet. So, so definitely when I see it, and if you elaborate here, I'll be able to comment it, because I don't want to comment until I understand exactly what this is offering, and what is involved, and then I'll be able to get back to you, and also just get back to you, Bob, about that, or you just elaborate and I'll just tell you now. So I'll be happy to listen and also to check it out as well. And also Negu Photo joined also, and on Instagram, welcome too. And also I hope also you're also joining me. Also, many of you are also joining YouTube and LinkedIn, and also Twitter. Faisal Hassan NDP, and also Faisal Hassan NDP Facebook page, and also Instagram. Well, thank you. So you are in Ontario, and your question is, are they still hiring international nurses? Could you tell me the website? Well, I don't know specifically what kind of international nurses you are. What is your training? Have you done any exams? Have you connected to any services? Just write me, fhassan-co at ndb.on.ca, and I'll be happy to connect you any services that is out there. Well, thank you. But folks, nurses has been our heroes and our champions. And sadly, the inconsiderable approach did not start with the arrival of COVID-19 2 years ago. Under the previous Liberal government, we are all watched hospital funding dry up as they froze investments in healthcare. The result was a nurse-to-patient ratio that was worst in Canada. Subsequently, the Ford government chose to pass Bill 124, which unjustly limits wage increases for nurses and nurse practitioners to a maximum of 1%. They have also refused to deliver substantial paid sick days, despite a universal support from all corners of the province. As a result, workers have been driven out of many of the key jobs that we need to save lives in this pandemic. This is no way to treat a hero, champions, frontline workers. This is also the same as the BSWs also, who are doing a fantastic job, and day in and day out are working very hard. Nurses, personal support workers, and healthcare professionals of all kinds deserve better treatment from this government. Thankfully, there are steps we can take to undo the contempt that Premier Ford has shown these workers to date. And Berlin says, please tell me I'm looking forward to your question, Barlene. Thank you. Joining me on Instagram there. And also this week, my leader, Andy Horvath, was joined by the president of the Ontario Nurses Association, Catherine Ho, for an important news conference, folks. They discussed the worrying state of our healthcare system and the need to hire 22,000 more nurses to address shortages across the province. They identified several short and long-term solutions to retain staff, such as rebuild Ford's low-wage law, Bill 124, making more nursing positions full-time instead of part-time or temporary, keep existing nurses and healthcare workers by improving their working conditions and team nursing, and have a proper skill mix, create new jobs for late career and recent retired nurses to mentor and support, provide free in-person mental health supports for all frontline healthcare workers, provide 10 permanent basic days plus 14 during a pandemic, provide a full access to PPE, including N95 masks all the time, mandate a minimum 4 hours of hands-on care by nurses and PSWs for every nursing home residents now, fund more university seats for nursing programs, and fix issues with clinical placements. The empty gestures of this government are no longer sufficient. By implementing these measures, we can finally exhibit a real respect for nurses and honor their contributions in the fight against COVID-19. I am proud to stand alongside my leader, the official leader of the NDP, Andrea Horvath, as we work to forge this new partnership and finally deliver for the nurses for this province. Well, thank you, folks. And if you also want to watch that video, you can actually watch it on my Facebook page or my Twitter, Faisal Hassan, NDP as well. So that is Catherine Ho and Andrea Horvath have held that conference, was just yesterday. Okay, folks. And then Charles McCormick, who's joining us on YouTube, just said, for your information, I cannot see there exactly, Charles. So if you could elaborate, I'll be happy to hear your comments there. Barlin says, here. All right, here we are, Barlin. I call you. Well, no, Barlin, I am in a different platforms. I am now live on Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and also Facebook page and Twitter. So I won't be taking a request for joining live on Instagram on Fridays from 7 to 8 p.m. Fridays from 7 to 8 p.m. is about basically joining the community and sharing about the work of the week and also hearing your concerns. And if I accept your invitation, then I should accept everyone, and that will also take me will not be enough. But if you write your comments, I'll be able to respond and also answer those questions, and we can connect that way as well. Well, Bob Murphy comes back and joining us also Facebook page and says, I will touch base later. It is complicated. It will make a motorist accountable when involved with vehicle collisions with cyclists, pedestrians, and pedestrians assisted with mobility devices. Well, this is also about protecting the road and protecting citizens at large. So it sounds like a good bill. Well, thank you. And definitely we will touch base anytime. You know where the office is, Bob. You can drop by anytime, or you can just email me, fhassan-co@ndp.on.ca. Thank you. Jay Robinson, welcome. Hope you are doing well. This is Friday, a good Friday evening to you, and hope the family is doing fantastic. And thank you for joining again. And Brandon, welcome. And also Hussein, welcome. And here we have a question. Tani, from Instagram saying, thoughts on the back to school plan. What can we do to help better protect our kids at school? Absolutely, that's an important point, and it's very important point. And we need to make our schools safe. And this is also the failure of this government. They had so many years to plan, for 2 years now to plan it. So they let us down. So now it's good that the kids are going back to school, but we have to make sure it is safe, so that we have small classes, we have ventilations, we have making sure that there are teachers, and also make sure that the teachers and education workers are also vaccinated, and making sure that we provide them resources quickly, and so forth. And quickly, I see my colleague here, Khalid, wants to chat a minute. I will just accept him quickly on Instagram. Just give me a minute quickly, and quickly, and there we are. So hopefully he also, I don't know these technologies, but it says to add. Yeah, he accept. So now we accept him quickly, and Hussein also has a question quickly here, and says, hello, Faisal. Currently, college faculty are engaging in work to rule action with regards to 3 contractor. What can be done to avoid a strike in a pandemic and not trying to disturb students' academic semester? Well, Hussein, I don't know anything about this strike you're talking about that is looming, and could you please share more information about it? Just write to me, fhassan-co@ndp.on.ca, so then we'll be able to respond to you in that as well. And Mohammed, welcome as well, and hope all is well here. And those who are just joining, you're a member provincial parliament, Faisal Hassan, and joining you every Friday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And I think we're having a technical here. That's why I am not know how to accept invitations on Instagram. We did it, but it didn't go through because our friend would have wanted to share something with you guys. That is our candidate from Oxbridge, candidate in upcoming provincial election. So folks, return to school. I think also our friends here just asked a question as well. So Ontario government has announced that in-class learning will resume on January 17 in Ontario. And in its recent statement, the government indicated that parents will only be notified of a potential COVID-19 outbreak when approximately 30% of staff and students in the school are absent. This approach, along with dropping the requirement to report COVID-19 cases, falls well short of the transparency parents are expecting. I will continue to urge the government to recall the legislature immediately and make more investments to ensure our schools can be as safe as possible. We must use every tool at our disposal, Tania, to protect students, families, and staff, and that is teachers and education workers. And this government continues to fall far short of this goal, and we will hold them accountable. And we have asked them to convene the legislature immediately. We can't wait February 22nd. Well, Khalid says the issue was my end. It would be fixed now. Oh, very good. Well, Khalid is joining us Instagram. He's our candidate, and the issue was from my end. Okay, it should be fixed now. Very good. So now I think I will accept him quickly, and I want him to say a few words quickly from Instagram, folks. He's joining us there. Let me accept quickly. Yes, there you are. Yes. Good, brother. How are you doing? I Well, thank you, brother. Usually, we have a couple of platforms going on this evening. We have connected LinkedIn, YouTube, and also Twitter and Facebook page, but we cannot connect that to Instagram. So we're using also a different connection to so the other folks over there might not be able to hear. But here is folks, our candidate from Oxbridge. Oxbridge, and what's the other name? Oh yeah, Bickering, Oxbridge, folks. Yes, and also I know he has also run 2018 and did very well, and we are going to elect him this time. And yes, so anything we can do for you, let us know. And folks over there, support our brother Khalid Ahmed. And is there anything you would like to say? Amazing. Yes. 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 That's yes. Yes. Amazing. Yes. Yep. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. Well, thank you. I mean, you are working very hard to earn the trust and confidence of your community, and you have done that for so many years and doing so much work. Thank you, and continue the wonderful work you're doing in the community. And folks, well, if you are in that community, support Khalid Ahmed, who's doing a fantastic job. And anytime, every Friday, I'm here from 7 to 8 p.m. Join us and say hello anytime. Thank you, brother. Thank you very much. Folks, that was our candidate from Oxbridge, I think, Bickering, that is, yeah. Bickering, Oxbridge, Khalid Ahmed, who just joined us on Instagram. And I think I'll just quickly answer some other questions quickly. Barin also saying, please tell me, well, I think that was earlier, I think. Quickly, yes, others are saying, yes, there we are. I think folks have doing a lot of things here on Instagram, and I'll do my best to catch you guys. Also here, Mohammed have asked us, any booster available in York Southwestern area in the weekend? Yes, indeed, there is, Mohammed. If you could go to Western Road and 401, right there, at the crossroad Balasa, close to the Canadian Tire, Caldanese, and also the other stores over there. It opens every week now from Wednesday to Sunday. So it's available. It's also open tomorrow and Sunday. There isn't much lineup, so you can get your booster there as well. Well, so check it out there tomorrow, okay? Or Sunday as well. Adam Solomon, welcome, Adam Solomon. He's our local Juno winner award in right here in our community. He has contributed so much. He has actually sent me this beautiful calendar. You can see that. That is an artist, Adam Solomon, who has actually sent me two of them this week. And you could see he is truly an artist. You see, so support our local artist, Adam Solomon, who really does so much work. He has also, we have featured him to our community and also Canada Day celebration right here. And thank you. And say to me, Nancy, as well, Adam, thank you, both of you. You are awesome. Thanks, appreciate it. And also here, also quickly, Brandon Macharos also have a question. I'll come to you quickly, Brandon. And you say that Dr. Moore said this week that the restaurant and the other businesses will not reopen on January 26th. How long does the restaurants and other businesses have to wait until step two ends? Do you think that the restaurants and the other businesses can wait for January 26th reopening? Well, that's a very good question, Brandon. Thank you. And I think our businesses, as you know, have struggled. They have struggled, and many of them are owned by women. It hit them hard. You know that also a perfect plan is gone, a whiff is gone. These are a woman owned businesses in our own community. So this pandemic has hurt. It hit hard, mostly those small businesses that are in our community. And you know that also earlier on, the government has opened big box stores, you know, and so on. But now what we need to do is to make sure we support them, these businesses. We support them so that they could continue to provide them grants so that they are not worried about the difficulties they have faced, and they have not been supported, to be honest with you. So I'm worried, Brandon. But the only way, if you're going to close that, until January 26th, then we're supposed to be supporting them now, not next month. That takes a long time. We need those support and services for them now, and we need to support them quickly. So let's see, this government, and we're going to advocate, to make sure we support these businesses now, not couple of months from now. Thank you. And also, Bianca, joining us from Instagram, says, Faisal, I would appreciate advocating for COVID exemptions for people that want to work and contribute to society. Well, thanks for your thoughts there. Appreciate it. And also, Adam says here, it is very hard now. Our government must give support to business owners and small business owners, mid-sized businesses. Now is the time. Indeed. Thanks, Adam, for adding your name to that, because it's important that we don't allow businesses to shut down. We have seen Perfectly Plain is gone. We've seen WIF is gone. Many businesses that are run by women are just closing down. And if we allow this to continue, then we won't have small businesses. And our small businesses are the backbone of our community. They give charity, they contribute, they support the community. They are part of who we are. Now is the time, you're right, Adam, to support them, not next month. Now is the time, and I will continue to make sure that we advocate for them and we get results for them. Well, thanks. Families with children have been struggling for a long time. The pandemic has been incredibly disruptive for parents of children and youth of all ages. Whether your young ones are in preschool or university, you know how difficult this time has been for them. I know how stressful it has been for parents who are moving heaven and earth to ensure their kids have what they need to be successful. They are doing everything possible to make sure small children are cared for and the students are getting the support they need to afford to avoid learning loss. As the official opposition critic for youth opportunities, I know just how strong and resilient our young people can be. But this doesn't mean we should insist on placing barriers in front of them. Despite the amazing efforts of early childhood educators, teachers, and education staff, children are falling behind and struggling with mental health issues like anxiety and depression. These are enormous challenges, and I agree with parents who are feeling frustrated by a government that can clearly be doing more to help their family. Our province has struggled with the highest childcare costs in the nation for years. The opportunity for affordable opportunity for affordable childcare has been within reach for months, and other provinces seized the momentum. In Ontario, however, Premier Ford has dropped the ball, and parents continue to wait for an agreement with the federal government. We need to move swiftly to provide financial relief for these families and do everything possible to prevent these spaces from experiencing outbreaks. Staff in childcare require better access to N95 masks and boosters, while parents need better access to rapid tests. Children under the age of 5 remain the only group without access to vaccines, and parents are agonizing over every runny nose and sore throat as a result. They need to qualify immediately for free PCR tests because all parents need help to get back to work after false alarms, not only just the families that can afford to pay for expenses PCR tests. In elementary schools, there are reports that the province is now considering keeping students home past the January 17th return date. And I think now, for months, have been calling for massive effort to keep schools as safe as possible. We need to stop. Welcome, folks joining us on Instagram. And we need to stop ignoring parents and educators who have been calling smaller class sizes and improved ventilation. We need an all-out campaign to immunize staff and students who have their parents permissioned. We can step up in school clinics to make it as convenient as possible. Keeping schools open must be a priority, and these are just some of the steps we can take to make these happen. Paid sick days will also allow parents to stay home when their children show symptoms of COVID-19 and contribute to safe schools. The government cannot continue to repeat the same mistakes over and over again. I urge the government to do the right thing and recall the legislature immediately so we can move forward on these measures and avoid the disaster that is staring them in the face. Well, folks who are just joining Instagram, welcome. And Brown says, Faisal, thank you for holding these sessions. We want to work, but we are being forced to vaccinate. I hear you, and I hear you, and I think the key is here that we provide education to people. We also provide a last mile strategy to make sure people take advantage. And I know that there are many efforts we have made early on to actually get vaccines in our community, because it took months and months to get vaccines in our community. And we fought hard to get a first testing center here in 200 Church Street, as you know. And also, we have been fighting to make sure that we have a permanent location for vaccine center here. And now the Humber River have stepped up, and we have it at their clinic, which open from Wednesday to until Sundays for boosters. But I know that also if you want for further communications with me, you can also write to me fhassan co at ndp.ca. Thank you. And here Hussein says, quickly, says, Faisal, if schools are being open in full capacity, should we open the small businesses, restaurants, social distance, and limited capacity? Well, I think that's a very good question, but we need to make sure those questions are the science table, and the public health officer should be answering that, because we should be following their guidelines, the public guidelines. So that is why I think it's important that they give us those guidelines and public health informations. So I think for now, I think what we need to do is to make sure that we need to make sure that we provide people support they need, especially the small businesses that are struggling, and we need them. They can't wait until next month. So that's important that we make sure we help them and support. Okay. And quickly also, I'm going to also take some comments from the Facebook page. Also, a lot of comments here as well. Quickly, Adam says, Adam Solomon, in fact, I have not received the CRB from our government since when the government announced, and it is frustrating. So this is one bad example, and I'm afraid example, new immigrants and this kind of treatment, how can they survive? I have had 3 vaccines now. 3 vaccines has Adam, but I understand COVID-19 is not an easy disease as possible. Think, please be safe. Absolutely be safe. But also, I think, Adam, you must be contacting my counterpart, the federal MP, Ahmed Hussein, to follow up on your behalf on this, to make sure that Ahmed Hussein should be able to give you answers for his office. And you can write to him, ahmed.hussein@parol.gc.ca. That is his email there. And you follow up, and his office number is 416-656-2526. There, Adam, you could address it. And Adam says, thank you, Faisal, for the good work, also for being there for us. Well, you're welcome. Thank you, Adam. Quickly, I will come back to Fox Instagram, but I'll also take comments from Facebook page quickly. And here also, Brandon says, the city of Toronto is expected to increase the property tax to 4.4%. Why is Mayor John Tory increasing the property taxes during the COVID-19 pandemic? Do you think that it is a good idea to increase the property taxes during the COVID-19 pandemic? That's a very good question, Brandon. Have you contacted Frances Naziara? She is the city councillor. She should be able to answer those questions for you, and ask her position with regard to the city budget and the proposal of His Worship John Tory. So make sure you follow up with her directly. And I heard she's going to have also a consultation with the budget. So perhaps you should attend there and raise your concerns directly with them. Okay. Well, thank you. Adam says, I did. Well, thanks. Follow up, Adam, to make sure, because he is also your representative from the federal side. And that's, I think, is the right thing to do, to take your concerns to the city councillors, Francis Nanziara, for municipal issues, and for federal issues to the federal MP. And here, a proud pork chop too, I don't know your name, but says here, keeps getting re-elected because he brings people to the polling solutions to the bus loads. I don't know, maybe I missed another comment here. He says, Ahmed Hussein visits Justa when he needs votes. The worst MP, he says. Well, and keeps getting re-elected. Now, that's his comment, folks. I'm just reading Instagram. Keeps getting re-elected because he brings people to the polling stations by the bus loads. And then Power Sang says, I'm not exactly impressed by the current opposition. And again, Mr. here doesn't give me a whole lot of confidence. Well, I don't know your name. I would have preferred if you could provide me your name, your phone number, and your email, so we can have a conversation, or you can actually write to me, Power Sung, 1987, F. Hassan, -co@ndp.on.cn. And thank you for joining me as well, Instagram. I join you every Friday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. to hear your concerns as well. And call me. I would be happy to call you. Why don't you just send me a note at 416-243-7984, okay? Or you can provide me your number, and I'll be happy to call you, okay? Write down your number, come to my house, man, for tea. I love tea. If it's garlic tea, spicy tea, I'll be happy to join you tea. I'm a tea drinker. Well, thank you. He says again, Faisal would really appreciate your advocacy for freedom to choose vaccinations. Sure thing, man. Well, thank you very much. And I'm also counting your support come June 2nd as well. Well, thanks. Valerie, welcome. Thank you for your emails. Well, welcome. And folks, if you haven't subscribed my newsletter, please do so. And that is, you can just subscribe. You can check it, my website, faisalhassan.ca. And you can do that. But I don't have your number. So just email me, and then we will also make sure we will continue carrying on conversations offline on Instagram. Brown pork chopper. Okay, my friend, thank you for joining me as well. And Valerie says, thank you for your emails. Thank you, Valerie. Those emails will keep coming. They will be coming to update you what's happening, what we're doing. Also, we want your input. We want to hear your concerns as well. As you know, our community has been neglected. Not only the last 15 years, but the last 20 years or more. And we have been taken for an afterthought. We need a strong voice, somebody who lives in the community. And I've lived here for 21 years. And I have been living here before I get elected and continue to live, unlike others saying that they live in the community while we know that they don't live here. And that's important, folks. You have to make sure that we don't want to go back. Those neglect, look around. The last 15 years, what do they have to show for? We've lost the 2 hospitals we have. One is gone, and now we have replacement of condos on Kiel and Ingram area. And now our 200 church still is here, but less work here. People have to flock into far places, especially Humber River is here, but it's also so many communities are relying on that hospital. So overcrowding again. So that's why also the neglect that they have done the last 15 years, cutting to education, their bill of 115 with Kathleen Wynne, and also the privatization of hydro, the cuts of the nurses. The list is continuous, folks. So remember that as well, so that we will send you those newsletters. If you haven't subscribed, please sign up. You can check it on my website of faisalhassan.ca. Okay, thank you. And quickly also here, Nancy Barrett says, thank you, everything, Faisal. Well, thank you, Nancy, and thank you very much, Nancy. Here is your gift, Nancy. Both of them, I have received it. And thank you. This is the office, and the other one goes into the home. So I appreciated the awesome artwork by Adam Solomon and also Nancy Barrett for the work. We have a great artist right here in our community. We should be promoting them, folks. They shouldn't be struggling artists in our community. Well, Valerie says, Canadians are thankful for your continued support regarding children's issues, healthcare, and education. Well, thank you very much, Valerie. And we need to make sure not next year, we're already here. Why am I saying next year? We're already in January 14th. So in June 2nd is election year. So let us make sure we win big here, and also we win an NDP government come June 2nd. That's the only way we could fix this mess created from the Liberals and the Conservatives. And this mess has to end, and we will end it. We have the plan, and we have the vision, and we have the team to do it. So we are ready, folks. Well, thank you. Thank you, Valerie, for your continued support, and I'm going to continue to earn your trust and confidence to make sure that, like the Liberals and the Conservatives, we're not going to take for granted. We will work each day, day in and day out, to make sure that you are served, your calls are returned, your emails are responded, and also your issues are addressed. And thank you. And Brandon says here, a lot of Premier Ford MPPs are resigning now. Why are all the Premier Dartford MPPs resigning? So far, I think they are whatever. Some of them have been kicked out, Brandon. Some have resigned. Overall, I think my numbers, if it's correct, I think there are 13 of them. And as you remember, when they were elected, there were 76 of them. And those 76 of them, 13 are gone now, come to February. So there will be only, I believe, if my math is correct, 63 of them. So one in case you are referring to is the farmer finance minister and the minister of long-term care, the Rob Phillipson. He was the MPP. He is MPP from Ajax, but he said he's resigning and he's not running for re-election in this coming June election, June 2nd. And this also, Brandon, happened 3 days ago. My leader Andrew Horvath went to Ajax and actually introduced our candidate, a long-time Ajax mayor, Steve Parish. And after 3 days, we hear that Rob Phillip is not running for re-election. I don't think that is what happened, but I think we will know more about it. This is just today's news, so perhaps we'll be able to know more about details of what's happening up there. But the good news is we have a great candidate, a tested, a leader who has served his community, Ajax, long-term mayor, to be over 23 years or more for being a mayor of Ajax. Steve Parish, a great candidate. And also a couple of minutes ago, also I spoke to also Khalid Ahmed, also a candidate, also Ajax, also on Oxbridge there, and also Brampton South candidate also, Andrea Barrett. So we have a strong team is coming up, Brandon. So that'll be great, ready for the election June 2nd. And Katra Abukar, welcome. And Nancy Barrett says, enjoy your calendars all year long. Well, thank you very much. And I hope that also you received my calendar, which I send also every year. Anita, welcome. Anita, welcome. I know you have been having fun around Europe and around the world. Fantastic. Joining us also, Anita is joining us also from Instagram. Welcome. And thank you for joining us there. And Valerie says, buy local, locals work. Your views on this topic is wonderful. Buying local improves the economy and helps to lift many children out of poverty. Exactly, Valerie. We need to support our local businesses, small businesses. And we know that the pandemic hit hard in our businesses. We've seen how women-owned businesses in our community being closed down because of this pandemic and lack of vision and lack of support by this government. We've seen WIF is gone, was a woman-owned business. We've seen also Perfectly Plain is gone, was a woman business owned, and many, many more. We don't want them to disappear. We want them now to be supported. And we have been advocating since the beginning, support businesses, because businesses are who we are, especially small businesses. They're part of our community. Please shop local and support small businesses in our community. And thank you, Valerie, for acknowledging and supporting as well. Thank you. Sarah, welcome as well. Well, folks, Dartford failed to support small businesses throughout the pandemic. He denied direct financial aid to family-run businesses that qualify for grants, while handling out money to companies that didn't need the help and didn't qualify. The recent announcement of another round of small businesses grants is too little and way too late. Many small businesses owners will decide they cannot take on any more debt waiting until February. February is a long time, setting off a wave of closures that will hurt jobs and end generations old family legacies and sniff out the dreams of entrepreneurs. These businesses deserve to get the type of support that Premier Ford has afforded big box stores, because we know that these big box stores have been supported. We want support for these small businesses that are right here in our community, and we need to support them, and they need the support now, not next month in February. And that's why we have called to recall the legislature immediately, because we're supposed to be doing the people's business right now rather than waiting February 22nd. Well, folks, also long-term care, there were at least 196 long-term care homes in outbreaks. At least 870 residents currently have COVID-19. Although testing is too infrequent to rely on that number, we are calling for a massive staff up to care for residents and implementation of proper infection prevention and control that will require an immediate raise for personal support workers, hazard day, N95 maskers, and paid sick days. 2 years into this pandemic, the brutal neglect caused by low staffing levels in long-term care is completely unacceptable. We must take bigger steps to ensure those most vulnerable to COVID-19 get the care they deserve. And they deserve right away, not in February, a couple of months from today. Valerie says, small businesses build the economy of all nations globally. Corporations take over and destroy the economy. Well, I think the corporations are not accountable to the community. They don't live in the community. They are only just wanting to, as you said, just put their profit under the maximization of profit. But I think it's fine. We're not against a profit, but we want to make sure that our small businesses also survive so that they don't wither away. We want to have options to support members of our community to flourish, to grow, to support one another, and to make sure that we also have variety of options. And small businesses are in the heart of the community. We know that also our businesses have struggled. They struggled in the also Eglinton Cross corridor, that also businesses in Kilsdale that have struggled for so many years because of these delays, these constructions of these Eglinton Crosstown project of Metrolink has continued hurting those businesses. Many of them have gone, and those who have remained have not been supported. Now they're talking about basically washing windows. That's not what they want. They want direct support, and they need those direct support now, not just a group of unknown people trying to clean their windows. No. So that's a lack of leadership. We need to restore the confidence of our community to make sure that we support small businesses, we support communities, and we work together. Well, thank you, folks, for those who are joining us on YouTube, Instagram, and also Facebook page, Twitter, and also Instagram. Quickly, my friend here on Instagram, Brown Pork Chop 2, says, yes, Faisal, we need your support to also remove vaccine mandates. Well, thank you for your comments. Brandon says on June 18th, 2022, there will be a COVID-19 vaccine clinic at the Immaculate Conception Catholic School. Will you be at Immaculate Conception Catholic School on the January 18th? Yes, we'll drop by, Brandon, to make sure that we support the parents there. I know that the parents of the Immaculate Conception Catholic School have been advocating to have clinics there. And that is also the parent school have worked very hard to work with the principal and the Catholic board, and also the public board, and the UNICEF Public Health, the Black Creek Public Health, also the Humber River Hospital, and also Toronto Public Health, to bring it into the school. And we will be there, Brandon, to support them, to make sure that the school make sure that whatever the school and the parents need, we're going to be there to support them. Yes, that's a good news. That's happening. And also here, Bob Murphy says, Vic Fideli, Sheila McLeod, Todd Smith, and Marlene Fullerton. And to surprise Rod Phillips, Darkford is appearing to be tossing dirts blindly and removing everyone around like Keystone Cops. Well, so far we have seen 13 of his team are no longer part or rerunning again for this coming election. But I know that also 3 days ago, as you know, Bob, my leader, Andy Horvath, presented our candidate in Ajax, former mayor and long-term Ajax mayor, Steve Parrish. And after 3 days today, now we see the resignation of Rod Phillips. So that's also, I think, it's a great candidate we have, Steve Parrish in Ajax, to replace Rob Phillips there. So that'll be something I'm looking forward to it. And Adam says, thank you, Honorable Faisal, for all the information update to date. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you, folks, for joining me this evening. You have been joining and also speaking to you here. Faisal Hassan, you're a member of Provincial Parliament. I join you every Friday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. I want to thank everyone who joined, specifically Andre Barrett, our candidate for Brampton South, and also our candidate also from Uxbridge, Bickering, Uxbridge, Khalid Ahmed, and all of you who have joined, Valerie, Adam, Brandon, Bob, and I can't name every one of you, Katra, everyone who have joined, and many of you have joined this evening, and I'm looking forward again to chatting with you again another time next Friday from the same time right here, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. to hear your concerns. And my friend Broud Bok Chop 2, I don't know your name, brother, but I'm looking forward. Just email me, fhassan-co@ndp.cn, or phone me 416-243-7984. Well, folks, until next Friday, stay safe. Enjoy your weekend. Have a pleasant weekend, and take care each other. Wash your hands, wear your mask, and also remember there are many boosters available in our community on the long weekend at the Crossroad Plaza at Highway 401 Western Road location right there, close to Caldenese, and also Canadian Tires there. Well, until then, folks, bye. See you next Friday from 7 p.m.